tech lovers, welcome back to Fast Cabling. Today we've got a really practical real-world scenario to walk through. One of our clients owns a parking lot and he needs to add 4 security cameras on a single pole. Simple enough, right? But here's the catch. That pole is 200 feet away from the main control room. That's exactly what we're going to solve today. And the great news is, we are going to show you not one, but 2 ways to do this. Because every installation is different, what works for one site may not work for another. So we've got all the product laid out. We are going to walk through everything step by step. So let's dive in. Alright, first thing first, on this particular site we're lucky because there is electricity available on the pole, and that changes everything because it means we can use fiber optic cables. Fiber is absolutely the gold standard for this scenario. Why? Because copper cable have limitations. Now you get signal attenuation and the signal will get weaker when the distance gets longer. You also have to deal with EMI, electromagnetic interference, which can corrupt your data. And fiber optic cable, on the other hand, it transmits data using light pulses. That means it's immune to interference and it can go for miles without signal loss. It's actually more secure because there's no electrical signal to tap into. So there's one thing, fiber only carries data, not power. So it only works when you already have electricity at the far end, and in this case we do. So let's test this up. So in the control room, we are using our 8-port WebSmart PoE switch. This switch has 8 PoE ports for the regular network devices, but more importantly for us, it also has 2 SFP slots. These SFP slots are what allows us to connect fiber optic cable directly to the switch. And it's a WebSmart switch, which means you can manage it through a browser interface. Things like VLANs, QoS, and Mac setting, but today we are using it in its simplest form, plug and play. And before we plug in the fiber optic cable, we need something called SFP transceivers. Think of it as the translator. Your switch speaks electrical signal. Your fiber optic cable speaks light. So the SFP transceiver sits in the SFP slots and converts between the two. When you're picking SFP module, you need to match it with your fiber optic cable. We're using single mode LC connector today, so we need a single mode LC connector SFP transceivers. So once the SFP transceiver in place, we connect our fiber optic cable. Now we are using pre-made fiber optic cable with LC connector, and this is worth talking about. Pre-made means it comes terminated from the factory with the connector already attached. You don't have to splice or terminate anything in the field. It's clean, it's reliable, and it saves huge amount of installation time. Now we're using this 2-string fiber optic cable, so on each string there is label. Let's use string B and leave string A for spare. And not to forget, use a short patch cord to connect our WebSmart switch to a network video recorder so we can show you the live feed. And I'm using another Ethernet cable to connect to one of the camera here. Alright, so the fiber runs from the control room all the way to the pole. Now let's get to the pole. This is where we have our outdoor PoE switch with SFP. This is a rugged IP67 rated metal enclosure designed for outdoor use. It has 1 SFP slot on one side, which is where our fiber optic cable connects. It also has 4 PoE ports. So the fiber brings the data in, the switch converts it back to electrical signal. Again, we need our SFP transceiver. We need a match pair. Slide it into the SFP port. Remember, we use string B. Don't connect the wrong one. Plug it into the SFP transceiver and let me connect 2 Ethernet cable to the PoE port, and those PoE ports are going to power our camera simultaneously. We can see the indicated lights are on. And we have everything connected. Now this switch does need external power. That's why we said this solution only works when there's electricity on the pole. It can accept various power sources like AC or even solar power, and it can deliver up to 32 watts per port, which is more than enough for most IP cameras. So that's solution 1, fiber optic cable, SFP transceiver on both switch. And let's look at our live feed. I'm going to wave my hands so you can see they are all live. And this is a clean and reliable and built for outdoor long haul. But here's the thing, what if there's no electricity on the pole? What if you're installing cameras in a location where running power just isn't an option? And that's where our second solution comes in. And honestly, this is where things get really clever. We use power over Ethernet, PoE, but not just any PoE switch. We are using a PoE pass-through switch. So what exactly is pass-through? Let me explain. Normally a PoE switch needs its own power source. It plugs into a wall outlet. But a pass-through switch doesn't. A pass-through switch gets its power from the incoming Ethernet cable itself. You send power from the control room all the way down that copper cable, and this switch takes that power, use some of it to run itself, and passes the rest through to the devices connected to it. This is huge. It means you don't need electricity at the pole. No electrician, no trenching for power lines, just one Ethernet cable doing everything. And this PoE switch has 7 PoE RJ45 port plus 1 pass-through port. And that's more than enough for our cameras. It's IP67 waterproof rated, rugged metal housing, and it operates in temperature from -25 to 60 degrees, so it can handle pretty much any outdoor environment. And it's plug and play, literally. All you need to do is connect your cable and you're done. But make sure you plug it into the right port, because port number 8 is the only incoming port. And I'm going to connect 2 bullet camera here. All right. Now here's the time when we have to think about power budget. This switch has a total power budget of 95 watts with up to 30 watts per port. But that power has to come from somewhere. And it's coming all the way from the control room through that single Ethernet cable, so we need a high power provider on the other end. That's why we are using this 4-port high-power 802.3 BT PoE switch in the control room. This is the latest PoE standard, IEEE 802.3 BT. Here's the technical detail that matters. Older PoE standards like 802.3 AF and AT only uses 2 pairs of wires inside the Ethernet cable to deliver power. But 802.3 BT uses all 4 pairs, and that's how it can deliver so much more power. We're talking up to 90 watts per port with a total power budget of 180 watts. That's more than enough to power the pass-through switch and the cameras on the pole. So let me connect the Ethernet cable connected to the pass-through switch and add 1 more bullet camera at the control room. Not to forget the short patch cord to connect with our network video recorder so we can see the live feed. So the signal flow here is the high power PoE switch in the control room sends both data and power down a single Ethernet cable. That cable runs out to our pole. The pass-through switch receives that power, powers itself up, and then distribute power and data to the connected cameras. No electricity on the pole required. Pretty elegant, right? Now let me wave my hand so we can show you. This is live videos. Now before we wrap this up, there's something really important we need to talk about. This is the part that a lot of people overlook. When you're running copper cable outdoor, you absolutely need to worry about power surges. Lightning strikes, even ones that are miles away, can induce high voltage into those Ethernet cable, and that surge doesn't just affect the device at the far end, it travels both directional. Either way, you're looking at costly equipment replacement and network downtime. And that's why we need to add surge protection on both sides of the run, not just one side. So for outdoor run, we're using this outdoor gigabit PoE surge protector. This is a rugged IP67 rated device that mounts right next to our pass-through switch. It provides 10 kA surge protection against lightning-induced spikes and static. It supports gigabit speed and is fully compatible with IEEE 802.3 AF80 BT standards. So let me take out the cap and do a fast installation. The Ethernet cable comes in here to the input port, and we get clean energy out to our PoE pass-through switch. So let me connect the Ethernet cable here. And this cable connects directly to the PoE pass-through port. So this side is protected. On the indoor side, we use an indoor surge protector. This protects our switch and the rest of our network equipment from surges coming back from the outdoor device. And here's the key, because we're using high power 802.3 BT standard, so we need surge protector that can handle that power level. Older protectors often cannot handle the power of PoE++, so make sure you use protector rated for PoE++ standard. Again, the long Ethernet cable connects to the input port of our surge protector, and we use another Ethernet cable connects to the output port. And one thing really important, for both indoor and outdoor surge protector, you need to ground them properly. So let's connect it back to our PoE port. Now together, these two protectors create what's called bidirectional protection. They block surges from entering the system from either direction. And trust me, for outdoor installation, this is not optional. It is essential. And let's take a look at the monitor. Everything still works fine. So let's recap what we've covered today. We had a client who needed cameras on a pole from the control room, and we showed you two ways to solve it. The fiber optic approach works when you have electricity on the pole, and the PoE pass-through approach when you don't have electricity on the pole. Two solutions, both designed for real-world outdoor installation. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to our channel, Fast Cabling. And feel free to drop comment below. We'll love to hear about your own installation. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you in our next video.